met with one of my friends who's been managing his own rental property for a while, and he didn't know any better. But I walked into the property with him because we're going to sell it as soon as this tenant's lease is up, and absolutely deplorable living conditions with these tenants. They were borderline hoarders or extreme collectors, as some people might call them. But there's ways to correct those things when you see a tenant like that, and you just don't let them do that. You know, if they're collecting too much stuff in a house and it actually causes problems with the property and you can't walk through it, or there's usually remedies in the lease saying you've got to keep a property neat and clean and tidy, so there's no mold growth, there's no problems with a fire or fire hazards and things like that. Most good leases have that in them. But they had this gentleman conditioned. They've been his tenant for 3 years. They were paying below market rent because he was worried about kicking them out. The property is in terrible shape. They trashed the carpeting in the bedrooms and everything, of what you could see of it because there was so much stuff piled up on it. It literally was like walking through pathways of stuff, and very untidy. And tenants don't have to do that. When a good manager checks a property every 3 months, the tenants watch out. The neighbors watch the house around it to let you know if anything's wrong. And I always give my number out to the people that around the properties we manage. So if they see foreign cars, too many cars, junk, people aren't keeping something right, you slap a notice on their door, a 3-day notice to correct it, and then work along with a good lease, and that prevents these problems from happening. What happens with most people that manage their own properties, and I'm guilty of this too on my own, is being too nice to the person because you want them to think you're nice. And then what tenants will do is they will take advantage most of the time. So, but to maintain that property as a good investment, if you want to do charity work, give money to your church, or you can come down to United Against Poverty where I'm on the board. But your tenants should maintain a property according to the lease. That's a contract. That's an investment you have for that house to keep it up. And you want that investment to perform for you. And that's what we do in our property management division. So most of the people I have under our management have had some bad stories to tell me about how tenants took advantage, or they were asked too much stuff, or weren't getting rent on time, demanding tenants, not paying tenants, late paying tenants, things like that. And you don't have to put up with that. Rental property should be semi-passive. And by that I mean I might call you once a year and say, hey, I think the dishwasher's finally going to go. Let's not repair it. Let's replace it. The rent's going up. Do we want to raise them 50 or $100, or are you ready to sell this property? This is about what it's worth. Semi-passive, just like you sit down with your financial planner twice a year, 3 times a year. That's what we do at Loveland Properties with our properties that we manage, and I've helped people make some great money and some great returns, and understanding the benefits to rentals. Not only the cash flow on raising the rent, how to make sure they're getting the most, they got the best mortgage for it. What's their plan on the property? Sometimes people are like, well, I'm ready to get rid of it. And I talk to them about their mortgage and about where rents are going and about values. And they're like ready to get rid of it. They've had it for 5 years and they're going to walk away with 10 grand. I say, well, wait a minute. With the values the way they are, and we're gaining ground in your mortgage, we sell next year, you might make 20 to 25. So there's lots of things that your manager should be doing for you. If you have one or don't have a manager that's doing this for you, or don't have a manager at all, call us. We'd love to help you. Real estate, I love it as a retirement plan, as an investment. But it's got to be handled the right way, and we can do that for you at Loveland Properties. And you can always call into my show on Saturday at noon, and I'll answer all your questions. Thanks.